The woman David Romero depicts in this watercolor and pastel painted portrait is named Cristina. She sits and wears the mask of Itzpapalotl, also meaning obsidian butterfly. She is an ancient Aztec goddess. The old Aztec people believed obsidian was a sacred black volcanic rock. They used it in the shape of a mirror to see the future. Itzpapalotl was a goddess of the underworld who welcomed new life by eating the hearts and souls of children and women who died and purified them of any illness and evil, and then created new life. Cristina also holds an image of Itzpapalotl, who is monstrous in appearance. She is ugly because she holds the truth of the human heart, which holds envy and hate. Romero's work is a commitment to the practice of the old masters, particularly those of the Baroque and Rococo periods. His perfection of art, his exploration of the modes of narration, and his explicit connection with history and politics are a source of fascination and inspiration for his work. An incorporation of contemporary iconography and themes in a classical figurative representation. He tries to unravel the hidden relationships and continuities between classical art and current culture. In traditional native Mexican culture, the mask is considered an instrument of revelation, not one which conceals. When one wears a mask, one hides nothing, but rather reveals the truth of the Tito, whom the mask represents, and which has always been part of the person wearing the mask. Romero's work is about the blending of wrestling suits and pre-Hispanic and colonial mythology. In this artwork, Cristina's own face is beautiful, and so she has confronted the truth, which Itzpapalotl reveals, in beholding her own truth, and has now grew in wisdom. Masks and capes become important accessories of the fighter like a superhero of today, a warrior. Color holds an important place in Mexican art and is a big part of the culture. Romero does a wonderful job at complementing the secondary and primary color palettes in all his work. The sage green background complements and contrasts well with the intense roses in her hair, along with the other pink details in the rest of the picture. Also, the orange cape draped over Cristina plays well with all the blue components in the face paint, the material in her hair and shirt. Okay, so now we're going to start the makeup tutorial on the portrait of Cristina as the first Ahuehuetenango. So first we're going to start by prepping the skin with some moisturizers so that the foundation and the rest of the face paint goes on nicer. Now we're going to start by putting some foundation with the beauty sponge. And we're only going to put these in select areas where your face skin is going to show through, because most of our face is going to have face paint on it. So we're going to put it on our nose, around our mouth, and near our eyes. And then we're going to start with concealer now and put that under our eyes, on our nose, our cupid's bow, and our chin. And that's just to highlight these areas, to brighten them. Now we're going to use some setting powder just so that the concealer stays in place and doesn't move. We don't want it to crease or anything. Now we're going to just apply some highlighter on the nose and just on the cupid's bow, because those are the only places that are really going to show, just to highlight these areas. Now we're going to start with eyebrows. We're going to use some brow gel and then a brow pencil. We're just going to do a regular brow routine for this, since your eyes and your eyebrows are the two things that really show. And we're just going to do some hair-like strokes and repeat that all through your eyebrow. Now we're going to start with some eyeshadow. We're going to go in with a warm tone brown. And in this makeup look, there's a lot of warm tones on the eyes, so like reds and oranges. And we're just going to focus with more natural tones too, since it looks like natural makeup. It's nothing too dramatic. And we're going to deepen up the crease with the maroon shade, also make it a little bit pinker, not so orange. We're going to take a flat shader brush under the eye, and we're going to do the same shadows reflected on the bottom, just so it opens your eyes more. And then we're going to take a white eyeshadow to brighten the inner corners and make the eyes just pop more. We're also going to take the white to intensify the brow bone. Now we're going to take an angled brush and some black eyeshadow, and we're going to use it to line the top of our eyes. And we're not going to wing it out or anything, we're just trying to deepen up the eyes to show a better contrast. And now we're going to curl our lashes and apply mascara. Now that we're finished with the eyes, we're going to move on to the lips, which is the last part of the makeup tutorial, and then we're going to move on into the face painting tutorial. So we're just going to take a lip liner and basically line the outside of our lips and then fill it in with that same color. It's just a warm toned brown shade, it's something neutral. Now we're going to clean up any mistakes that we made as we would if we were painting or doing any kind of art. So we're done with the makeup now, and we're going to move on to the face paint. We're going to take this white like crayon pencil, and we're just going to basically outline and sketch all the places that there's going to be shapes. And this is just kind of the beginning process. We want to do this so we don't apply the really strong paint right off the bat in case we make any errors. Now we're going to start with the Mehron water-based paint, and we're going to go in with the white, and we're just going to get this all opaque where the white places are, so the whole forehead and the midsection of the face. And go ahead and layer this. It's going to take a little bit, but it'll turn out in the end. We just want to get it really bright white. So now we're going to set it with some white eyeshadow so that it stays in place and it doesn't really move. So we're done with the white. We're now mixing a blue shade for the eyebrow shapes. We're just going to fill this in to the best of our abilities for now. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to go back in and, fix everything up in the end to make it look crisp. Now we're going to set this with some blue eyeshadow. We're also going to make this a little bit more greener toned. And we're going to start with the black. So this is on the jawline, and then there's a black strip across the eyes. We're going to add some shadows to a few of the shapes on the face, so on the blue shapes, some on the white, and we're just going to bring some dimension back into the mask so it's not so flat. Here we're just adding some brighter white, basically highlighting some of the areas since we lost it with shading a few of the white areas. We're doing the same with the black portion. We're going to add some white to just highlight it. Now we're moving on to the hair. We're going to do an updo, and we're going to add some flowers. Just pick any flowers. I had a few red ones. We're basically going to tie our hair up into a low bun. And And then start clipping the flowers on the side of your head, similar to the portrait. And then we're finished, and you are now one of David Romero's masked portraits.